how do you talk to yourself when you don't measure up in let's say a relationship?
There's like an image of an infant latched onto a mother is what comes to me immediately as I hear that. And like, do we blame infants for the way that they're attached to their mother? No. It's easy to have compassion for the infant and it's clinging, partly because of the dependence of its life on the mother, but it's beyond that too. It's like, there's grace to be offered to ourselves in moments of attachment, to objects, to people, to identities, to ways of being. And there's a sense of like trust and faith that the things that keep us hooked and limited and disconnected from our sense of freedom are unfolding and falling away perfectly on time. And that, we're doing the work that's available to us, in front of us. We're recognizing things, and and there's judgment is part of that. It's part of the process of that. And the trap of judgment is going into a loop of judging your own judgment.
Right. Looking at it now and being like, why was that judgment? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what I hear underneath the judgment is that it's painful to acknowledge that there's still challenge letting go of certain things. The co-founder of the church, Brian, he always says every judgment is a confession of disowned power or unfelt feelings. And I think that's something really important to remember, is that there's always feeling underneath judgment that is overwhelming in some way, that we have not yet found the resource and grace within or around us to be with the depth of pain that exists there.
And then the judgment is almost a way of like offloading that for the time being.
Yeah, that's the beauty of judgment. Judgment is a servant to overwhelm. It's a servant preventing us from overwhelm.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is pain associated with both the thought of letting things go and then also with, the acknowledgement, like you said, that it is hard to do. And that it's something, I mean, there's like a conflict. There's like, I want to let them go because I know that they're not serving me. Like having a lot of stuff doesn't serve me. And I heard another, maybe it was a Stoic, but something along the lines of, when you hold on to things, you don't own them, they own you. And when it becomes compulsive, like, I need to keep this thing because it's whatever, like a shirt that I got 5 years ago and it's a memory and it's tied to that. Well, that thing kind of owns me because I'm only holding on to it.
What is it that you have this box of objects, Will. What is it that you're like letting go of that's underneath the objects? Like, what is all that they represent to you? And maybe that's a big question.
Yeah, it feels pretty scattered. It feels like it's like I'm letting go of like the memory. That's the first part. It's like I'm never going to have the memory of that anymore again. And then it also feels like I'm missing out on the potential for like a future moment reflecting back on it. So it's like I'm going to lose this moment or this experience that happened in my life if I let go of this object.
Hearing that, I wonder, like, just like brings me into a space of reflection on and like a prayer to honor all the moments that we forget, all the moments that are forgotten personally and historically, and all the beautiful, perfect, necessary pieces of the puzzle of life and history that we don't know. What tiny portion of of the richness of life do we get to hold on to? We get to have it all here and now, all the richness here and now. But there's a beauty to what was a moment ago that is constantly gone, and there's a invitation into like grief and like love that it beckons.
It's kind of like an acceptance of the unknown in a way. It's because when you say that, I recognize that there are tons of experiences and tons of memories that I have lost. and that I will never get back. And so similar to our conversation on the unknown, that's something that I'm now rejecting by trying to hold on to what I can. But really by holding on, I'm just trying to pretend that those other ones don't exist when they do. And those are all I've already lost.
How does it feel, like, recognizing that?
It feels nice. It feels like a weight off. Just like, yeah, it makes me feel like I want to go to the garage and start throwing stuff away.
And I would encourage you in doing that to, like, take a moment to honor all of the beauty that you can remember in each of those objects, and, like, just to praise what was through it. It's like there's omnipresent that opportunity to go into the depth of gratitude, right, for what was, for what it is that each of those objects is attached to. And I suspect you'll find more peace in that. Each, like, the need to hold on to anything, to calcify ourselves or the world around us, comes when we haven't fully honored life. So ask yourself, what do I need to do to honor the life that was and is now?
Yeah, I'm recognizing now that holding on to these objects, I'm just postponing, not just letting go of them, but also appreciating them. Because I'm not taking the object and being like, okay, what does this mean to me? I'm just like, I don't want to lose it, and then I put it somewhere. So that's really interesting to think that not only am I putting off the letting go of it, I'm also putting off the thing that I'm trying to hold on to, which is the appreciation of it.